So, it is moment of truth time. Everything is done. It's got the break-in oil in it. It's full of water. It's full of hot water. I don't have any antifreeze yet. I'm going to have to go get antifreeze somehow. Yeah, it's full. Before this engine freezes, I'm going to keep it in here tonight and keep the fire going and probably keep the furnace on low. So, the only thing left to do is hook up the battery terminal and try to start it. I take it the ignition's on because it's beeping in there. I reckon I will, I think I need a fire extinguisher. Yeah, I guess I'll have one if I need it. Set you guys on the stand here, and it's been a lot of work. Let's see what happens. I need to open up the garage door too so I don't suffocate. Try to get that to quit beeping so it don't run the battery dead. Oh, I'm wore out. I hope this thing runs. It'd be really awesome if it just fire right after the run good. It is definitely plenty cold out here. I'm gonna lose all my bolts. The bolts for my hood. This radiator cap over there. I'm going to do a once over real quick. Sorry guys, bear with me here. I want to make sure there's nothing looking out of sort here. Nothing's touching any headers. Nothing's going to fall off, I hope. Turn the idle. Here we go. You gotta be shitting me. little smoky in here. It's got some, you know, all the stuff burned off of it. I don't see anything leaking. Water's about 160-ish degrees. Got that on the cut just now. That really freaking hurts a little bit. Ouch. No bull crap. That's the first start of this engine. So follow my tips and tricks and maybe you'll learn something. I didn't just learn this stuff overnight. I got good teachers. I learned from the best. I learned from my grandpa. I learned from a lot of really old, really skilled people. I don't just say stuff for the hell of it. She's happy. I think it sounds good. I'll double check the leaks here real quick. Wow, man, that really smarts. Everything is so far so good. I do need to bump the timing up just a hair, but I'll put a light on it here in a minute. I'll bump it up just a hair before I start up again. That's the first heat cycle. I don't warm them all the way up. I get it up to about 185 degrees. I don't let them get over 190 degrees on the first run. I warm them up, do what I just did with the RPMs, shut them down, let them cool all the way off. Check all the fluids, do that again. Do that about 3 times and then I'll go drive it a little bit. Change the oil first and then go drive it a little bit. Other than timing being a little bit off. Oh, not too shabby. It is bone dry under here. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Should have tried to put it in gear. Oil's still perfectly clean. Okay, good. Making sure there ain't no bearing in it yet. Oh shoot, speaking of, I did not put the magnet back on the oil pan. Always put the magnet on the lowest spot of the oil pan, as close as you can get it to the drain plug. That way when you pull the drain plug out to drain your oil, you drag that magnet over towards the drain plug and then out. Then just keep dragging it over towards that drain plug and it'll drag all the metal out that's in there. Pulling the magnet off and letting it drain ain't enough. You need to drag it over. So, successful first start. That's the first little break-in period. I didn't time it or nothing. I watched the oil pressure, watched the temperature. Oil pressure's up there, man, way up there, like way better than it was. I was sitting there at 1200 RPMs. It was 70 psi, and when I was running around 2200, 1800, kind of fluttering in there, it was 85, 90, 95 psi. So definitely going to keep an eye on that, and I might have to run a little bit thinner oil in this engine. It's a pretty tight clearanced engine. But yeah, I'd say that's good enough for the first start. I'm going to let it cool all the way off. My neighbors probably hate me. It is literally like 1:45 in the morning or 12:30 or something. I forget what time it is. But hey, it's Friday night. There's trains going by. There's always people across the street, the trucking company, banging on stuff. So hopefully I didn't irritate the neighbors too bad. And they could probably get over it because I've been busting my rear end on getting this motor done. So that's not too bad for a few days of work. So yeah, like I said, cooled off, let it get room temperature-ish, fire it back up, do it again, do that 2 more times, and then change the oil, and then try to drive it, see what happens. next time I fire it up, I'm going to put it in gear, see if it moves, make sure the clutch is alright and everything. Right now I need to go upload this and go to somewhere to get antifreeze somehow. It's getting cold tonight and I don't want this engine to freeze, and I don't want to have to keep the wood burner going all night. So for sure I need to go somewhere and get at least a gallon of antifreeze and drain some of the water out of this, and on the last run, you know, circulate some antifreeze through it just to be on the safe side. I don't think it's going to get that cold. I am going to take this negative battery terminal off while I'm not out here. Maybe that's on there really good, because there still isn't a fuse on this wire right here and a couple others. I need to remedy that, but I've tidied up most of the wiring. A lot of the stuff that ran to the battery I've ran to the alternator and kind of ran along the engine right there. I've got a lot of work to do. Hope you all enjoyed that. I'll see you in the next one. That thing sounds pretty good. No misses. Runs good. I didn't touch the distributor. If you look in the video, the last video, and you look right here, right now, that's the exact spot the distributor was in the video. Ain't moved a thing. That's how well that works. My grandpa taught me that. But yeah, you do that and then the engine will fire right up first try. You know, real easy. That's just the best way to do it. I don't know. There's 101 ways to do it. I think that's the easiest way. Whew. I'm wore out. See y'all in the next video.